Welcome to the Accountancy Learning AAT sample paper video debriefs. I'm Sarah, and in this video I'll take you through the Intro to Bookkeeping sample paper 1 task 6. So this task is all about processing payments to suppliers. The question gives us some information. An invoice dated the 15th of May has been received from a supplier for $9,750 including VAT. The supplier's terms of payment are, and then we've got net for payment received 30 days starting from the day after the invoice date, 1% discount received within 20 days starting from the day after the invoice date, and 2% received within 10 days starting from the day after the invoice date. So Part A asks us to identify the date by which the supplier should receive payment if no discount is taken. So that means we're just going to be looking at this top one here. So they've got to pay the full invoice because they're not taking any discount, and it's got to be received within 30 days from the day after the invoice date. So the invoice date is the 15th of May, so we're going to start counting from the 16th of May. We're going to add on 30 days, which will bring us to the 14th of June. So you can literally just count through the month up to 30 days. The second part is to identify the amount to be paid and the date by which the supplier should receive payment for each of the terms of payment offered below. So we've now got the payment within 20 days and the payment within 10 days. So our amount, the payment amount, was $9,750. And that is our gross amount. It was including VAT. And then we've got a 1% discount for payment within 20 days and a 2% discount for payment within 10 days. So to find out our amounts, we are going to do one calculation on our gross amount, and we're going to pay 99% of that gross amount to give us a 1% discount if we pay it within 20 days. And if we pay it within 10 days, we're only going to pay 98% of the invoice, giving us the 2% discount. And there's our two figures. And then the date, so again we're going to be starting from the 16th of May. And we're going to count 20 days to bring us to the 4th of June. And then we'll count 10 days from the 16th of May, which brings us to the 25th of May as the due date. So with these, you need to focus on how much of the invoice you're going to pay after the discount has been taken. And because it's a settlement discount, we can work that out on the gross amount. And then we need to count from the day after, count up the number of days to find the due date. Next, a statement of account received from another supplier, Central Products, does not reconcile with the supplier report below. The statement of account shows an amount outstanding of $8,782. This amount does not include the two cheques dated the 29th and the 31st of May, which were received by the supplier after the statement had been prepared. This supplier does not offer any prompt payment discounts. So Part B asks us to identify which four amounts were included in the two cheques by clicking on the appropriate amounts. So we are looking to work out what is in these two amounts here. And what we need to do is literally look through all these amounts and work out what's going to make up these two cheque amounts. So if we start at the top, we can see there's a balance brought down of 1,968, and our next one is a credit note. So this is what we will deduct. So this is going to be a negative figure. We're looking for 1623, and by just a general sense check of those numbers, a general estimate without even putting it into a calculator, you can see that's roughly going to be around the right figure. So we can confirm that by doing the calculation of 1968 minus 345, and that does give us 1623. So these top two is part of this check. Now our other one is 818 we're looking for. So again, let's have a look at our numbers and see what might be able to be included. Now we don't have any more credit notes, so it can't be the invoices that are over our amount of 818. So we can discount that one, discount that one, discount that one, and then we're left with these two. And that's our figure. So that one and the 492 equals our 818. So with this type of question, it's really about looking through it and saying, does this answer, or what figures make sense to make this answer before you go tapping things into calculators and trying to add things up. Have a look and sense check things first. Discount the ones that it can't be, and then you'll ultimately then be left with the ones that you can match the checks up to. Then the final part is to calculate the amount that should be paid to settle the remaining balance of the account. So for that, we're going to be looking at the ones that we haven't done anything with. So we can forget the checks at the bottom. So we need to look for the ones that we haven't yet dealt with. So we've got this one, this one, this one, and this one. So if we do a calculation, 1831 plus 1157 plus 2427 plus 926. So that is the outstanding amount. Add all of those together to get 6341 as the remaining balance of the account. That brings us to the end of task 6.